In this video, we're diving into the fallout and response following the horrific Pahalgam terrorist attack on April 22, 2025. This brutal assault in Jammu and Kashmir's Baisaran meadow left over 24 civilians dead, including foreign tourists, and sparked outrage across India. It's the deadliest attack in Kashmir since 2019, and it's raised serious questions about India's next steps, Pakistan's role, and the shadowy groups behind this tragedy. From military options to international pressure, let's break it all down. This is a heavy topic, so let's get started. First, let's recap the attack. On April 22nd, a group of young camouflage-clad gunmen ambushed tourists in Pahalgam's scenic Baisaran meadow, about 6 kilometers from the town. They opened fire with AK-47s, killing at least 26 people, mostly civilians, including 2 foreign nationals. The attackers didn't just shoot indiscriminately, they singled out victims by religion, forcing some to recite Islamic verses and executing those who couldn't. This sectarian brutality has shocked the nation. The Resistance Front, or TRF, claimed responsibility. And Indian intelligence confirms TRF is a front for Lashkar-e-Taiba, a Pakistan-based terror group notorious for the 2008 Mumbai attacks, with backing from Pakistan's Inter-Services Intelligence, or ISI. Prime Minister Narendra Modi cut short a foreign trip, vowing the perpetrators won't be spared, while Home Minister Amit Shah visited the site, promising the terrorists will pay a heavy price. The nation is grieving, and the pressure for action is immense. So what's India considering in response? The attack's scale, targeting unarmed tourists, has pushed India beyond the surgical strikes playbook used after the 2016 Uri attack or the 2019 Balakot airstrike. Those were limited, targeted operations, special forces raids across the line of control, or airstrikes on terror camps. Pahalgam demands something bigger, but India's walking a tightrope with nuclear-armed Pakistan. Here are the options on the table. First, precision airstrikes or drone attacks. India could hit terror infrastructure in Pakistan or Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, targeting LET or TRF camps. Unlike Balakot, this might involve advanced drones or standoff missiles to minimize risk. The goal? Re-establish deterrence by making militants and their sponsors pay. Second, covert special ops. Elite units like Para-SF could conduct clandestine raids across the low sea to take out high-value targets, like TRF handlers. These ops offer deniability and could stretch over months, hunting down plotters. Third, cyber warfare. India might hack ISI networks, disrupt terror communications, or leak evidence linking Pakistan to the attack. This avoids direct conflict but still hits hard. Finally, hybrid tactics like AI surveillance, armed drones, and smart border tech could create kill boxes to stop infiltrators along the LOC, while beefing up security in tourist areas like Pahalgam. Analysts expect a mix, a quick airstrike to show resolve, followed by covert ops and tech-driven defenses. But with public anger calling this an act of war, India's leadership must avoid a wider conflict. Now, let's talk about the culprits. The evidence points straight to Pakistan's terror ecosystem. TRF, which claimed the attack, is a rebranded Lashkar-e-Taiba, created in 2019 after India revoked J&K's special status to give militancy a local face. Indian agencies say TRF answers to Liti chiefs like Hafiz Saeed and is backed by the ISI. The Home Ministry designated TRF a terrorist group in 2023 for infiltration, arms smuggling, and targeted killings. The Pahalgam attack involved 3 to 4 gunmen, including Pakistani nationals and a local accomplice named Musa, Yunus, and Asif. They likely crossed the LOC weeks earlier, sheltered locally, and used tactics like wearing army fatigues and religious profiling straight out of LET's playbook. Intelligence also links the attack to a notorious LET commander, Saifullah Kasuri, alias Khalid, who orchestrated it from Pakistan. Just days before, an LET figure in Poke called for attacks in Kashmir, and Pakistan's Army Chief, General Asim Munir, gave a fiery speech on April 16th, calling Kashmir Pakistan's jugular vein and vowing support for the struggle. Indian analysts see this as a dog whistle that greenlit the massacre. Pakistan's response? Predictable denial. Islamabad expressed concern for the lives lost but refused to condemn TRF or admit any role. Their defense minister blamed India's policies, a classic deflection. But India's got receipts, intercepted communications, digital forensics, and traces of the attackers' movements to safe houses in Muzaffarabad and Karachi. One official summed it up. They don't need to say attack. Calling Kashmir their jugular vein was enough. For India, this is Pakistan's proxy war, with TRF as the latest pawn of the ISI and Lee-T. The fallout is intense. India's launched a massive manhunt, with helicopters and anti-terror ops scouring the forests. Security's tightened across J&K, and the border's on high alert. Internationally, the US and Russia have backed India, with calls for sanctions on Pakistan's terror networks. At home, protests erupt, and leaders across parties demand action. Modi's team, including NSA Doval and EAM Jaishankar, is strategizing, with the Cabinet Committee on Security set to meet. But here's the challenge. How does India punish the culprits without sparking a bigger crisis? And can they stop these attacks for good? In conclusion, the Pahalgam attack is a grim reminder of Pakistan's role in fueling terror in Kashmir. India's response, likely a mix of strikes, covert ops, and tech, aims to hit hard while avoiding war. The evidence against TRF, LET, and the ISI is overwhelming, and the world's watching.